Yes, this is John G. Sutton, and welcome to Tales from the Jails. And today I'm going to talk a little bit by special request, by the way, special request from one of my subscribers to the Psychic World channel. He requested me to discuss a specific inmate or famous inmates that I had known during my time. Well, they're not famous, they're infamous. Infamous for being virtually, seriously bad bastards. Let's be perfectly honest. Anyway, the specific inmate that requested me to discuss was a man called Donald Nielsen, who was convicted in 1975 of the murder of Leslie Whittle, who had been hung by the neck by a wire and held in a sewage in a drainage shaft. He tried to blackmail the family. Prior to that, Donald Nielsen had gained the sobriquet the Black Panther when he'd been robbing post offices and attacking people and killing a number of people. Killed 3 people, shot them with a 2-2 weapon, shot them dead, robbing post offices, and somebody described him as being extremely quick, like a panther. And as he was dressed all in black, the journalist described him as the Black Panther, and that's how he came to be known as the Black Panther. Anyway, Nielsen ended up in the block at Strangeways as a Category A prisoner, and I believe the year was 1977. And I happened to be working down the block, not regularly, but I was working down the block, and Nielsen was there. And of course, 7 o'clock in the morning, opened the cell up, out he comes, slop out. Nielsen was not a particularly imposing figure. He was probably about 5'6", something like that. Not exceedingly powerfully built, and he said nothing. Did not speak nor good morning or anything like that. Not that I'm looking to be greeted by a murdering maniac like that. Anyway, he slopped out back in his cell, shut the door, checked that he was okay. No sooner had he got in his cell, he started doing press-ups, loads of press-ups. Then he started doing sit-ups. He's back sitting up. Then he did press-ups. Then he did sit-ups. Then he did step-ups. Then he did sit-ups and press-ups and sit-ups and jump-ups and waking himself up, a little bit of an early morning routine. Let him get on with it. So I go back and check him an hour later through the Judas hole, Look in, sit-ups, press-ups, step-ups, jump about. He hadn't stopped, he continued doing it. I mean, he didn't hear me walk into the cell and start doing that just because he thought I'd be looking. This might impress me. It didn't impress me at all. I think he was doolally tapped, I mean, don't forget, he did this all the time, all day. Sit-ups, press-ups, push-ups, jumping up, virtually non-stop all day. All day and every day, every time I saw him, every time I looked in his cell. That's what Donald Nielsen, the Black Panther, was doing now. Quite what he was hoping to do, I don't know. And if he was looking to extend his life, he didn't do so. He died from, I think it was Norwich. He was taken ill at Norwich prison and subsequently transferred to hospital, where he died of breathing difficulties, obviously having some kind of cardiac arrest. And the murdering bastard now is rotting in hell. So, to the gentleman who requested my experience of meeting the Black Panther, there you go, that's it. He was mad as a gnat, completely barking, jumping up and down, press-ups, sit-ups, day and night, all the way through. And that was Donald Nielsen. gone but not forgotten. Another famous character that I met in Strangeways was Mad Frankie Fraser. Now, when we say mad, let me tell you this. I worked as the officer in charge of the records office, and one day into my office came a box, a big heavy duty cardboard box, and it was full of notes and records and disciplinary proceedings and images of Mad Frankie Fraser. I mean, most inmates had a file, a record file that was probably about that thick. Say you were alive, it'd be about that thick. Notes, not really much. Frankie Fraser had a cardboard box full of the stuff. So one dinner time, I thought, well, I'll have a look at this, So because I ran the place, I mean, I could read the records if I want. So I thought I'll read Frankie Fraser's record. He got notifications. He'd been on things like sentenced to bread and water in the past in the prisons. He'd been sentenced to be flogged by a cat of nine tails in the period when the prison service used to whip inmates. They tied them to a metal triangle, and the prison physical training staff got a cat of nine tails, knotted with the, and whipped them on the bare backs. So you wouldn't want that once. Frankie Fraser, twice. He was whipped twice. Didn't make any difference to Frankie Fraser. He was impervious to pain or to sense, because he wasn't sensible at all. I mean, and he was a dangerous little bastard. Little. I mean, he was only about 5'2", and his modus operandi was not, I'm going to do, no, nothing like that. If you crossed his path, he didn't tell you he was going to sort you out, he hit you from behind. He attacked one member of staff, not at Strangeways, at another prison, from behind with a metal chair, smashed the metal chair into the back of the head, and damaged the prison officer's optic nerve, blinded the man. I mean, this is Frankie Fraser, and he was in Strangeways. As I say, I read his prison record. It took some reading, I tell you. Horrible stuff. The stuff he'd done, attacking other prisoners, attacking staff. Anyway, came one lunchtime, and I was put on lunchtime duty while all the staff were off duty, and I was in charge of A wing on this particular day. And on the wing, I was patrolling the wing, and I saw this inmate walking on the landings. That's Frankie Fraser. I said, Fraser, get in your cell. No, I said, the chief officer said I can remain open. He said it's all right. I said, did he? I said, well, you can talk to the chief officer tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm telling you, get in your cell. He turned around and walked into his cell, and I just followed him in and locked him in. I had a word with the chief officer about this. Said, I believe Frankie Fraser's thinks he's got your permission to remain unlocked. Oh yeah, he said he's all right, He said it's Frankie, we know Frankie. I said, when I'm on duty, the inmates on the landing during lunch hour remain inside their cells. That's how it works. No inmate has the rights to go wandering round. Who knows what he'll get up to? He may even attack me. Would you think that's all right? I mean, he's got a history of this. Well, I've told him he can do that. I said, well, I'm telling you, sir, that he can't. Not when I'm in charge of the landing. And that was that. Frankie Fraser did not get his liberty during lunch hours to wander around and do what he damn well wanted. When I was on duty, he stayed behind his door and was locked up. And that was it. I tell you what, every time I saw Frankie Fraser after that, he gave me one of those, shall we say, old-fashioned looks, as if to say, who the hell do you think you are? Well, in actual fact, I actually thought I was the prison officer in charge, and he was one of the prisoners, and behind his door is where he stayed. I didn't care if it was Frankie Fraser or King Kong in your cell. Simple as that. I mean, if you've got one rule, stick to it. Don't piss about, arsehole creeping round a murdering, horrible, torturing little bastard like Frankie Fraser. Thank you very much.